Next, it's Jamie McIntyre, Washington Examiner.
Colonel, can you update us on what is the state of encirclement or isolation of Raqqa at this point? And a second question, at this point, does the operation to liberate Raqqa have any Turkish component? Has any role been carved out for Turkey at this point?
Thanks, Jamie. With regard to the isolation of Raqqa, with the completion of operations at Tabqa, the city will be almost completely isolated to the north, to the west, and to the east. It's very important to finish the seizure of Tabqa and Tabqa Dam. As you know, Tabqa Dam is the largest dam in Syria and is a source of electric power, including to Raqqa. So we really want to assist our partner force in getting that under control. This was an important area for facilitation of ISIS fighters in Raqqa. They used it for supply, command and control, and to reinforce their fighters in Raqqa. So it's good that the Syrian Democratic Forces and Syrian Arab Coalition are making good progress in retaking that terrain. We also have partner forces south of Raqqa that are there to help interdict any ISIS fighters who try to move south. So, the city is almost completely isolated, and what we can expect is that, our partner forces will continue moving closer to the city to advance to within striking distance. In the meantime, the coalition will continue to conduct airstrikes and then artillery strikes in the areas where our partners are active. We'll continue to conduct airstrikes anywhere in Syria where ISIS fighters and resources can be found, including Raqqa. What we've seen most recently from the enemy is that they're building a lot of elaborate defenses in Raqqa. And so we're removing a lot of construction equipment and reducing the enemy's ability to build those defenses. But they've had nearly 3 years, so there's already a lot there. We'll do what we can to uncomplicate the situation for our partner forces as they advance and retake that city. As far as the Turkish role for what will happen in Raqqa, we continue talking to Turkey every single day. There are Turkish officers in the headquarters of CJTF OIR who are working every day to defeat ISIS in Iraq and Syria. I think it would be best not to speculate about what other future roles there may be. I know there's a lot of diplomatic discussion well above my level, and we'll just have to let that play out.
One quick follow-up question. Can you tell us at all how many ISIS fighters or leaders have actually left Raqqa at this point, and where they seem to have congregated? Do you have an idea of where they've gone and what strength they might be?
As far as numbers and exactly who, we don't really have that I could offer you in this forum. What I would say is we have observed ISIS leaders leaving Raqqa, some of them, but there are still a substantial number who are in the city. Just to remind, this is their self-proclaimed capital, and they are not going to give it up easily. They're going to stay and fight, and many of them are going to be killed there. There are some, and what we've seen throughout the campaign is that when ISIS leaders understand that they are about to lose terrain or lose a key area, they often move their families out, and then some of the key leaders move out, and they leave orders for their fighters or lower level commanders to stay in place and fight and die in place. and they do that in a manner that's very directive, and they punish those who don't follow that order. They have been known to execute their fighters who leave after being directed to stand and fight and die. And that is something that we're still seeing throughout the areas that ISIS is losing in, including Mosul.